So today's main topic we're going to be talking about is filing your 6-month June 2024 Consumer Magazine Publisher Statement. So this is a great webinar if it's just for a refresher or if you're new to filing. The first thing I'm going to go over is filing tips. So before I dive in and do a live demo of the filing tool, I am going to go over some good filing tips. And then also, before I do the live demo, I do want to touch base about if you want to file your web and social media data with us in addition to your circulation data. We have a new automated program. It's called Digital Assurance Program, and it makes it super easy to file your web and social metrics. Then briefly, I'm going to touch base about BrandView just real quick. What happens to your information once your statement's released, about what BrandView profile can do for you. And then I'll dive into that live demo of the filing webinar, or the live demo of the filing tool. And then I'll close out the webinar and who to contact for questions and also when the next educational webinar is. So the due dates for your 6-month June ending publisher statement is going to be due July 31st. However, we do have some clients that are on a July ending reporting period. And if that's the case, your due date is going to be August 31st. I do want to point out that if ever the due date falls on a weekend day, the due date is going to be due the following business day. But just know that for 6-month ending June, it is going to be July 31st is your due date. And then for 6-month ending July 31st, your due date is August 31st. Now, to access the Publishing Filing Center, what you will be doing is going on to AAM's main website at auditedmedia.com. And when you go onto our main website, you're going to click on Login. And when you click on Login, you have two choices. You have that Publishing Filing Center and the Media Intelligence Center. So the Publishing Filing Center, also referred to as the PFC, is where you're going to be filing your 6-month statement claims. Once your statement's released, all your 6-month data is going to be housed in our Media Intelligence Center, also known as the MIC. The Media Intelligence Center is AAM's robust database that houses all our clients' release data. But for now, our main focus will be that Publishing Filing Center. When you click on the Publishing Filing Center, it's going to ask for login credentials. It wants to know your member number, your username, and password. Just to let you know, all publications have their own unique member number. It's your identification code. And then it's going to have the username and password. It is unique for each publication. Do want to point out that your PFC credentials, they are different than the Media Intelligence Center. So if you're not sure what your login credentials are for your publication for the PFC, just please contact us. You can click on Contact AAM and we're more than happy to provide that information for you. There's 3 main components in the filing tool is general information circulation data, analysis, and review and submit. Those are going to be the 3 main areas that you'll be focusing on when you're in the filing tool. And the starting point is always going to be under general information circulation data, publication information. The questions that are on the publication information page and how you address them will dictate how the filing tool is set up. So it's important that you always start with the publication information page first. It's going to ask questions like, what circulation types will you report? Do you have print circulation, digital issue, digital non-replica? Do you have all 3? If you have all 3, you check all 3. If you only have print, well, then only check print. What's going to happen is, since I checked all 3 components of print, digital issue, and digital non-replica will show up in the filing tool. But if I only checked print, that's the only thing I'm going to see in the filing tool. So it's important that you check what's applicable for your publication. Also included on the publication information page is contact information. We do try to carry over contact information from the previous publisher statement. However, sometimes there are changes in contacts. So if that's the case, uncheck the box that you verify the information and then update your contact information. And then check the box again saying that you have verified it. If you do not check this box saying you verified the contact information, what happens when you go to save, it's going to give you an error message. It wants you to check this box that you verify the contact information is up to date. Also, too, it also has your field serve. We do try to carry over your field serve from your previous publisher statement. Field serves typically do not change from statement period to statement period. So we typically will have that in there for you. And like all my training that I do on the Publishing Filing Center, I always tell my clients, if you get anything out of my training, is to remember is to save and save often. So there's two save features in the filing tool. The filing tool, each section is going to have save or save and continue. Just remember to save periodically in the filing tool because it does have a tendency to time out after a few minutes of inactivity. The next section under general information circulation data is average circulation. So this page, it's going to show all the possible circulation categories available. You will only fill in the circulation that's applicable for you. So for example, if I'm a paid publication, I'm going to do individual subscriptions, and let's say I also have membership. But I do not have multi-title digital program or partnerships or sponsorships. So I'm only going to fill in what is applicable for my publication. Also, too, the average circulation issue by issue section, they go hand in hand. They tick and tie together. So my total paid subscriptions that will be noted here in the average circulation page should tie to the total averages calculated in the issue by issue section. Also, too, each main section in the filing tool, you'll see click here. There's a quick video for that particular section. So if you ever come across and you're not quite sure how to fill out a particular section in the filing tool, click on the click here video. And it gives like about a 2-minute, 3-minute video of how to fill in that particular section. The next section I want to talk about is about issue by issue. But before I go into that, I want to talk about rate base because rate base is part of your issue by issue. So what a rate base is if your publication publicize or the forecast of what your circulation is for the year, and you put it on a rate card. So if you have a rate card and you're showing your rate base, you do need to report your rate base for AAM reporting. So this is an example of how it would appear on the publisher statement. So here's my made-up publication of AAM magazine. I know it's real creative there, but here's my AAM rate card. I have a rate base of 800,000. So when it comes time for me to file, what's going to appear on my release publisher statement is going to be my rate base. And then what AAM does is we compare your rate base to what your 6-month circulation average is, and then we're going to come up with a variance. Is it a positive variance or is it a negative variance? So did you make rate base or did you miss rate base? But just to point out, not all publications have rate bases. I would say it's about 50-50. So if you're not reporting a rate base, you don't have to worry about it. So the reason why I'm bringing up rate base is because of the next section is the issue by issue. If you have rate base, it is included in the issue by issue section. So if you have a rate base, you will see it in the issue by issue. You will fill out the rate base for each issue that you have. If you do not have a rate base, you're going to check a box saying you don't have a rate base. And what will happen, this rate base by issue will disappear. This issue by issue section, you're going to fill it out for each issue that is applicable for your 6-month statement. Typically, if you're a monthly publication, you're going to see 6 issues. We do abbreviate here at AAM. So for example, here for June, it's JUN. And then you're going to see this assigned calendar date. Right now for June, it says June 1st. So what this means is it's not going to get printed anywhere, but what this does, it's puts your issues in chronological order. We do have some publications, they don't go by months, they go by name. For example, spring, summer, fall. So we want to make sure we put those in the chronological order. So if you have a spring issue, what you would do is use the red calendar box and then put what the assigned calendar date would be for that particular issue. Next is special issue. Not all publications have a special issue, but what a special issue is, it's an issue in addition to your normal issues that are out in the marketplace. Your special issue is typically out there longer than a normal issue. It's typically like an anniversary issue. People Magazine is a great example of who does special issues. Special issues, what you would do, you would use this plus icon and it brings down a line item. You would put in what that name of the special issue is, the assigned calendar date, and then you're going to check that it's a special issue. Then you're going to fill in the applicable circulation categories for that issue. What will happen is the filing tool is going to is what's going to happen for that special issue is reported in the issue by issue section, but is not calculated in the overall 6-month averages. Next is analyzed issue. Analyzed issue, everybody has. Special issue, I would say it's probably a small handful of publications that do special issues, but everyone's going to have an analyzed issue. An analyzed issue is an issue you're going to select, and you're going to break out that issue by geographic analysis. So you just select what issue you want to be your analyzed issue. AAM does not care which issue you choose. We just ask that it's within the statement period. Also, too, is for each issue, you're going to fill in with the applicable circulation for that particular issue. So you would fill out your paid, applicable paid digital, your verified print, verified digital. The next section under general information circulation data is region and demographic additions. Honestly, not a lot of publications have this. But if you happen to have specific regional additions or demographic additions for your publications, you do fill out this particular section. Use the plus icon to bring on down the line item, fill in the edition name, the number of issues that is for that particular region or demographic addition, and the circulation for it. I do want to point out that if you do have region and demographic edition, it is not printed on the release PDF publisher statement. However, it is housed in the Media Intelligence Center in the Analyzer tools. Next is prices. The pricing section, now we're under analysis, and so we have prices. Prices is only applicable for those publications that are paid publications. So if you have a paid publication, you're going to fill in a single copy, your subscription price, and your average price. Do you want to point out that we have a quick guide on how to calculate your average price calculation? We have on this slide, it gives a real quick formula for it. It is going to be your sales generated from the subscriptions ordered within the 6-month period. So it's from January through June of 2024. You're going to deduct any sponsorship sales, any multi-title digital, international sales that are over 10% of your circulation. And then you're going to divide that by the total number of copies generated from these sales. And that's going to give you your average subscription price per copy. Then you're going to take that average subscription price per copy and then times it by the magazine annual frequency to come up with your average subscription price annualized. It's a lot to take in, but if you, most of you know how to calculate it, but if you ever want a guide, we have if you click on Support Center, there's a really good guide that goes step by step for this calculation. Also, too, you can always contact AAM and we're more than happy to help you. Next is we're in the Analyze section and we're looking at the geographic analysis. So everyone's going to have a geographic analysis. If you're a United States publication, it's going to break it out by states. It's going to be in alphabetical order for the 48 continuous United States, with Alaska and Hawaii to follow. And then if you're Canadian, it's going to go for your Canadian provinces. Do you want to point out that you can either manually enter in your circulation by state for your analyzed issue, or you can download an Excel template that we have built into the filing center. You would click download template. It's an Excel file. You would fill it out, save it, and then upload it. So personally, I like using Excel. So I would download the template and fill out Excel, upload and save it and upload it. So it fills out my geographic analysis. Truly is a preference. Some people like just to manually enter it, but I do want to point out that you have to use our template if you're going to upload your file. Oh, one more thing I want to point out about the geographic analysis, a couple things. It can be prorated once a year. And the geo report, the geographic analysis, it is not going to be printed on the PDF document of your publisher statement. Instead, it is housed in the Media Intelligence Center in the Analyzer tool. Next section is going to be the notes section. And the notes section is this where you can further explain your circulation categories. For one, in multi-title digital programs, there's an explanatory for average non-analyzed, non-paid. This is your miscellaneous sample copies, advertiser copies. So what you would do is you would click on Add Notes, select the note that you want to add, and then save it. And I'll show you this during the live demo. Now we are in the review section of the review and submit section of the filing center, the filing tool. So we're getting near the end for the filing. Next thing you're going to see is publisher comments. Publisher comments are not printed anywhere, but it's communication for you to us here at AAM. So if you had any major changes in your publisher statement from December, go ahead and type it in here. If you had, added a new distribution area, if you have a new logo, you would type it in here. Because what happens is once you submit your statement, it goes to our review team. A review team is going to look at your publisher statement and compare it to the previous one that was filed. If we notice major differences, major fluctuations in circulation, we're going to reach out to you. So anything that's helpful for the review process, you can put it here. If not, if everything's status quo, leave it blank. Next under review and submit is upload files. Technically, the only thing you can really upload for consumer magazines is the logo. We already have on hand most publications' logo, so we will use your publication logo to be printed on the PDF publisher statement. However, if you have a new logo or there's a revision to the logo, you can always provide us the updated logo. You would click on logo and then update your logo. It would be either a JPEG or a PNG format. Going a little out of order here, we're going to look at view errors first before we look at view data. View errors is going to basically what it says. It's going to let you know if there's any errors found in the filing tool. You want to make sure this says no errors found before you submit. So it's going to tell you if something is not ticking and tying. So for example, my total average paid, it's not tying to my issue by issue. So just remember your 6 months averages, they need to tie to your issue by issue. My geographic analysis total needs to tie to that analyzed issue I selected in the issue by issue. Next is view data. View data is the proof of your data that you entered. You can look at view data at any point in time during the filing process. Again, this is your proof. It is a proof of the data that you entered in the filing tool. So I'd highly recommend that before you submit, look at view data, make sure it ties to the record, your circulation records, and everything looks okay. If there's any changes that need to be made, go back to that particular section in the filing tool and make the updates. I also recommend using this print icon. Use the print icon to print out your view data page, or what you could do is save it as a PDF. That way you have the information that you entered in the filing tool as backup. Now we're in that final stage, and we're on that statement submission page. So you're going to put your name, title, check the box right below that, your title. And what that's going to do, it's going to indicate to the best of your abilities that you have entered the information has been true and accurate. Going to make sure you want to have your updated email address and then click statement submission. So once your statement is submitted, like I said before, it goes to our review team. If everything is fine, they're going to give you one more opportunity to look at the data before we release it into the Media Intelligence Center. So they're going to send you an email. It's basically a proof email, and they're going to direct you back into that filing tool under View Data. Again, the View Data is your proof. So look at go into the filing tool under View Data. If everything is okay, there's no changes need to be made, you're going to say, yes, I agree to approve it. or you're going to say, no, I decline, and then make your corrections in the filing tool. Now, before I go into the live demo, I do want to talk about, and it besides providing your circulation data, you also have, you can provide your web data and your social data and have that printed on your publisher statement and have it housed in the Media Intelligence Center. With the merger of BPA and AAM, we truly have taken the best of both worlds and we created this new program. It's called Digital Assurance Program. And now it makes it super easy for our clients to submit their web and social data with us. There's just a quick form you would fill out. On the form, it's going to have your contact information. And also wants to know the website you want to report, the URL, the GA4 account name, the GA4 property ID, and also you would select what social media you want to also to report. If you have multiple websites or social media, just click on Add Web Property for each social and web property you would like to report. You will need to grant view access to your GA4 account, but once you do that, what AAM is going to do is we're automatically collect your data, we're going to filter it, and we're going to analyze it. And if we notice any anomalies, we'll let you know. But if everything is okay, it's automatically released on the 5th of each month. So you're going to have your web and social data out there each month. And it's also included in your BrandView profile. So some of you are like, well, what's BrandView? Well, BrandView it's a free interface that you're able to create. It's a bridge between your static publisher statement and that deep dive in the Media Intelligence Center in the analyzer tools. It allows you to customize your data in our database. You can provide graphics, videos, explain further information about your publication, include a link to your media kit. But what's pretty cool about BrandView is there's going to be a circulation tab. There'll be a web tab if applicable. Same thing with your social media tab if applicable. And the web and social are updated with each the 5th of each month. Your circulation tab will be updated with each release publisher statement for your 6-month publisher statement. What's great about BrandView, it has a unique link, and you can share that with any of your clients, even if they're not an AAM client. So it's a great marketing tool. So if you do not have your BrandView profile built out, well, let AAM help build it out for you. There is a quick form you would fill out. It's going to ask for basic information about your publication, also some graphics, the link to your media kit. And then what we'll do is we'll create a rough draft BrandView profile for you to review. And then once you agree with all the changes or updates, we will publish it. All right, well, that's enough for the filing tips. So I'm gonna switch out my PowerPoint. So just give me a moment here, and we're going into the live demo of the filing tool. So now I am on AAM's website, which is at auditedmedia.com. And what you're going to do is click on Login. And when you click on Login, remember you're going to choose choices, the Publishing Filing Center and the Media Intelligence Center. To file your 6-month statement claims, you want that Publishing Filing Center. It's going to ask for the login information. For today's purposes, I am using a made-up publication. So I have my member number, my username, and password. I'm going to go ahead and click Login. Again, if you're not sure what your credentials are, click on Contact AAM, and we're happy to provide your login information for you. Once I click Login, I have some more choices on the left-hand side. You're going to want File Publisher Statement Claims. Now for you, it will automatically go into your 6-month June 2024, but since I'm using a demo publication, I have multiple publisher statement periods to select. So, but for me, I'm going to do the June 2024. I'm going to click Access Data. Now, this is what you'll see when you log into the filing tool. It's going to have an introduction page. And to be honest with you, most people skip this page. But I always like to point out there's some really, really good information on this page, especially tutorials and guides. When you click on tutorials and guides, go under data filing, magazine media publisher statement filing has a step-by-step guide of each section in the filing tool. So, excuse me. So if you ever get stuck in the filing tool, use that guide. Highly recommend it. Excuse me. Hmm, Sorry about that. I have a bit of a cold. Also, too, there's contact us. So if you ever get stuck in the filing tool, you can always click on contact us and we'll more than happy to help you. So there's three main components in the filing tool, like we had talked about in the PowerPoint. We have general information, circulation data, analysis, review, and submit. For right now, do not worry about cross-media filing. If you want to file your web and social information, use that digital assurance program. There is this form you could fill out for your digital and social media information, and I'll provide that in my follow-up email to you. Also, too, there's a thing about BrandView. If you want to do BrandView, highly recommend you just fill out the form and let us help you build out your BrandView profile. So really what you want to concentrate on are the three main areas of general information circulation data, analysis, and review and submit. So remember, the first thing to do when you go into the filing tool, you want publication information. This is a survey. It's going to ask various questions about your publication. How you fill out this page will dictate how the rest of the filing tool is set up. So for example, I put in what circulation types will you report? Print, digital issue. Digital issue, just to let you know, is a digital replica. It is a replica of your publication, the print product, but in an electronic format. Or do you have digital non-replica? If you notice, I only selected print and digital issue. I'm not going to be reporting digital non-replica. So since I did not check the digital non-replica circulation, it's not going to show up in the filing tool. So make sure you answer the questions that are applicable for your publication. Ask how many issues, excluding special issues, are in your publisher statement period. So for my publication, I'm a monthly publication, I would say 6. Then we have contact information. Again, we carry over your contact information from the previous publisher statement. But if you need to update it, uncheck this box and then highlight and type over what you need to update. And then before you save, because if you try to click save now, it's going to give you a message. It's going to say, please confirm the contact information is correct by the confirmation checkbox. So that's what it's referring to. Just make sure you check this box, then you can click save. And remember to save and save often. Next is this average circulation. So you're going to fill in the information that is applicable for your publication. Right now, the filing tool will showcase all the possible reporting categories that are available. So I have paid, I have verified, I have single copy sales, I have it for print and digital. Want to point out that if I go back and I uncheck digital issue, click save, and I go back to average circulation, you notice the digital goes away. So that's why it's important that you do the publication information page first. I'm going to go ahead and recheck that digital issue and click save. The average circulation totals should match the totals in your issue by issue section. So I'm going to go to the next section in the filing tools, which is issue by issue. So here's rate base. So if I had a rate base, I'm going to fill in my rate base by issue. But if I do not have a rate base, I'm going to check the box saying magazine does not have a rate base. I'm going to check that box, and then that rate base by issue goes away. Then you're going to fill in the applicable issues that are you're going to use this plus icon to fill in for the line item to pop up so you can start entering in your issues. The red X deletes a line. So there we have January. So January is abbreviated to be JAN. The assigned calendar date is January 1st. But let's say, for example, I have the anniversary issue. The anniversary issue, I'm using that red calendar box, and I'm going to assign the date for that. And I'm going to mark it as a special issue. So if you notice on my anniversary issue, I put in the paid print was 300,000 for the anniversary issue. My rest of my issues were around 124,000. And if you look at my average, it's 124,059. So what the filing tool does, it takes in all my normal issues and excludes my special issue to calculate my 6 months. If you don't have a special issue, let's say you don't have it, we're going to go ahead and use that red X, delete it. And this is typically what we see. Most publications don't have special issues, but if you do, that's how you would do a special issue. Everybody has an analyzed issue. Most people will select June, but if you don't want June, you can select May, January. As long as it's within the statement period, you can select that analyzed issue. Then you fill out the applicable categories for your publication. So paid print, your paid digital, if you had any verified digital. So once you start entering the numbers, it will automatically then calculate your 6-month average. So here's my paid print of 1,024.59. And when I go to that average, back to that average circulation, oops, it wants me to save. Remember, I'm not taking my own advice. Remember to say, no, you want to save. But go ahead, and if you see here, here's my 6-month average for paid. Total paid was 1,024.59. Your 6-month averages do tie to your issue by issue for the totals. And this is what happens when you don't save. So I'm going to get rid of that special issue and then click save. So remember to save and save often. Next is that regional and demographic additions. Honestly, most publications do not have this, but if you do, use this plus icon and then fill out the information for your addition. But for me, I don't have one, so I'm just going to skip this. Now I'm in the analysis page and section. So I'm going to go into prices. Since I have paid circulation, I need to fill out what my single copy price is, my subscription price, and then also I need to provide the information for my average price calculation. Again, if you're not sure how to do this average price, click on Support Center. We have a step-by-step guide for you. Also, too, I want to point out each major section in the filing tool. Here's a click here. You click on click here, it's going to bring up a video, and that video is for that particular section. It's about 1 to 2 minutes. It goes over exactly what to do in that particular section. Now we're in that geographic analysis. This is where you're taking that analyzed issue and you're going to break it down, the circulation by state for your paid subs, my verified subs, my single copies. And just your grand total here by category is going to match your issue by issue for that analyzed issue. You can either go ahead and start typing in the numbers in the filing tool, or, which I prefer to do, is download the template, click on the Excel file, and give it a moment, and then go up to the top, click enable editing, and then you can copy and paste from your reports into here. You do have to keep our format. Then once you have this completed, save it, and then choose file and upload it, and then it will automatically populate this for you. But again, it truly is a preference. It doesn't take any less time to do to manually enter it, but I prefer Excel, but that's me personally. We do have quite a few clients that just manually enter the data in the filing tool. Make sure you put in numbers, not not letters. It's not going to accept letters. And again, remember to save. Notes section. So if you click on add notes, it's going to give you the menu of all the applicable possible notes that are available to explain your circulation. So all publications will have average, non-analyzed, non-paid. So what you do is go ahead and click on this, click save, and then close, and then you can fill in what your average non-analyzed, non-paid circulation is. So for me, it's like 560. This is miscellaneous sample copies. They're your advertising copies, employee copies, things of that nature. So again, that's how you add a note. Click on add notes. And then unfortunately, these are not in alphabetical order. I wish it was, but if you have, just kind of scroll through, there's not that many. If you have multi-title digital, you do have to provide an explanatory for it. So here's that multi-title digital, and go ahead and click save. And then that brings up that multi-title digital program note for you. Now we're in the final stretch. We're in that review and submit. Remember, publisher comments, They're not printed anywhere. It's just communication between you and us here at AAM. So if there's anything that would be helpful during the review process, type it in here. Like, for example, if you have new logo. But if everything was status quo, you can leave it blank. Upload files. There really isn't a lot for consumer magazines to upload for the publisher statement. However, if you have revised your logo, have a new logo, this is where you're going to upload it. So you would click on logo and then choose the file and then upload. Remember, if you are uploading a logo for us, it's going to be the JPEG or PNG format. View data. Remember, view data is your proof. This is a proof of your data. You get to see exactly what you've entered in the filing tool. Highly recommend you review this before you submit. Also, too, I highly recommend use this print icon to print it out, or use that print icon and switch it instead of printing to save it as a PDF. That way you have that information available for you as backup. View errors. You want to make sure it says no errors found. Well, right now it's telling me I have an error. Make sure that the error messages, what you would need to do is it's telling me my geographic panel, it's not agreeing to my issue by issue panel. So I would need to go into my geographic analysis, go ahead and fill this out, and then save it, and then that error message should go away. Statement submission. This is the best part of the filing tool is the statement submission. This is where you're going to put your name, your title, check the box below the title. By checking that box, you're indicating that yes, to the best of your ability, that the information you provided is true and accurate. Make sure it has the updated email for you. So right now it's saying Eleanor Overton. If it was mine, I would need to change this to be Sandy, Sandy Liking at outdatedmedia.com. So change this to make sure the email is applicable for you, and then click statement submission. And that's it. That's the filing tool. So the filing tool is fairly intuitive. Just go through each section step by step. Remember, your starting point is always going to be that publication information page. We do know that you'll probably have questions when it comes time to filing. If you do have any filing questions, if you like a demonstration to go over the filing tool, I'm more than happy to provide that. More than happy to help you with your filing questions. Also, too, you can click on Contact AAM, and we'll also be able to provide your username and password for the filing tool. The next educational filing webinar is going to be September 11th. It is at 1:30 Central Time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It says take your AM data to the next level. Highly recommend that you register for this webinar. What this webinar truly is about. It's what happens once you file your statement with us. What happens to it? So we're going to be touching base about the Media Intelligence Center, not only looking at pulling your PDF document, but the different analyzer tools that are in there. So you can do competitive analysis, comparative analysis. Also, to look how BrandView functions in the Media Intelligence Center, and also how you can take your BrandView profile and share that link with your clients and the different components that are in BrandView. So highly recommend you register for that webinar. It's a great webinar. It goes over the Media Intelligence Center that's available to all our clients, and it showcases what you can do with your data once your data is released.